What's up everyone, I just got my Desktop Konnekt 6 from TC Electronics, and the reviews and video interviews and videos of this really suck. There's not much on YouTube, so I'm gonna make this one. It's 720p. It's gonna be alright quality because I'm in poor lighting down here in a basement, but let's open it up and see how it is. Okay, so the first thing I see is that this thing's a lot smaller than they make it look on the website. It's actually pretty tiny. Alright. So it does feel, it's pretty solid though. It's got some good weight to it. By comparison, I've got a Behringer MX602H, the tiny little mixer, and this thing is definitely heavier than that. But it is pretty light, so I put it at like 3 to 5 pounds. It probably says online how heavy it is. I love the smell. Okay. Now someone said this knob, they said this felt flimsy to them. It doesn't feel flimsy to me. Like they made it feel like, they made it sound like it felt hollow when you pushed it, it rocked and stuff, but it doesn't. It feels pretty sturdy to me. So does that. That knob's a bit hard to turn, like harder than the headphone knob. Reverb knob's easy to turn. That one's easy to turn. Yeah, the gain knobs are both a bit stiffer, which is probably a function that they built into the unit, just so that, I don't know, whatever. You can figure that out yourself. Okay, on the bottom, here's another thing that's not really mentioned as much. You have this padding. It's a soft material. It's kind of rubbery, so I guess that's so it doesn't move around as easy. And you can see it's harder for me to push that than it would be, say, just a piece of plastic. So I'm going to apply the same force. I know this is lighter, but like it's like this thing slides, that doesn't slide. So that's nice to have. There's not really much more to the unit, you know. It's pretty basic. Front panel, then the back rear panel, which you can get pictures of online, so this isn't going to be anything new. And that's that. So I'm going to plug it in, set it up, and get going with it, and I'll give you my my final thoughts once I get it working. Alright. So the installation on a Mac is very straightforward. Of course, there's instructions for both Windows and Mac. And for Mac, it's just put the CD in, install the drivers, and then plug it in, and you should be good to go. So I'm about to do that now. Also, I should note that the FireWire cable, when it plugs in here, it's very, sure you can wobble it, but it's very stable, and like it's almost tough to put in, so you're not worried about the connection going crappy. Very nice. It's the little things that are important, isn't it? Aren't they? Whatever. The little things are important. Okay, so a longer FireWire cable would help, you know, but maybe for some reason a shorter cable works better. I don't know the technology too well, but this will work, just barely, but it'll work. Okay, so I've plugged it in, and it looks like this. Here, we've got a... So I plugged it in, and this is what it looks like, okay? So that gets darker as it goes louder, which is cool. Now in the video it does look like it's flickering a bit, but I can assure you that it's totally solid from here. Very cool. Headphones. I admit I'm going to have to read the owner's manual just to make sure I know what's going on here. So the buttons work, guys. That's a good start. So now I'm gonna set this up and see how it sounds. Guys, it works. You know what? I gotta be honest. I'm sorry, I probably look like a douchebag right now. I gotta be honest with you guys. I read the forum, okay? And there are some people, like there's always people with every product that have issues, right? Nothing's ever 100% perfect. Even with the sound card I had before, which is an M Audio 2496, it's a PCI card. Worked fine for me, but some people had issues with it, and likewise some people have had issues with the Konnekt 6, as well as some of the other Konnekt models. But actually no, not but. So with this in mind, I'm like, I know a couple people have had issues. I turned it on, right? And the first thing that happened was I turned up the volume knob, right? And I didn't see anything, and I was like, oh fuck, like I'm one of those guys. And then I was like, oh okay, maybe I gotta change it from input to pre or post. So then I started turning it up, and it was like nothing. And then I started turning it up, and I was like, then I started to get the colored bars. I'm like, yes, like it works. But I still wasn't getting anything. And then I switched this over to DAW, because I was like, oh, you gotta monitor the DAW instead of the input. And I turned it up and I was like, what the hell, like I'm still getting nothing. And I went to check my headphones, and as I was reaching over, I realized that my monitors were still turned off. So I'm a big idiot, guys. So I turned on the monitors and it works, and it sounds different than the M Audio. And of course I'm not doing like a side-by-side comparison, so I can't really measure this accurately, but to my ears it sounds not necessarily better. I think a beat I was working on sounded better on the M Audio, but it sounds clearer, like everything, it almost sounds like there's more of a range in the sounds, whereas before everything was kind of more smushed together. So I'm pleased with it so far. I'm going to check out the how the mic pre sounds, because before, guys, I was doing all my mic pre work on this little Behringer mic pre right here, and we all know about Behringer and their awesome reputation. I think they have like two good products, a headphone amp and I think the ADA 8000 or something like that, the whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna test that out and I'll get back to you.